Greetings, sheeple. It is I, Agent XKY, beginner-level propagandist for Deep State.
I'm just kidding. It's me, Dave. I'm a 45-year-old teacher of students with special needs who always has some kind of crazy project on the side. Last year, I wrote a crime novel that raised over $150 for charity. I'm doing this now. I'm also a happily married father of 3 and not, as some have argued on the internet, a friendless virgin living in my mother's basement. Supper! I'm trying to make a cartoon here. Back in the summer of 2018, I was busy doing one of the things I loved best, making poorly animated cartoons making fun of Donald Trump. If I use a voiceover, I won't have to animate any of the lip syncing. Then I learned about bubble theory, the idea that each bubble in your life, family bubbles, friend bubbles, work bubbles, community bubbles, and political bubbles, can become better or toxic depending on what you put into them. But don't take my word for it. Take it from this scientist. You see, if you put enough of those bad jubies into your bubble, it turns toxic. No one wants to be part of a toxic bubble. Let's see what happens when we pump a traditional Christian principle into a community bubble. Love thy neighbor. This cartoon is focused on political bubbles. Our politics is how we treat all the people that we don't have to look at every day. Let's see what happens when we put a traditional Christian principle into our political bubble. That which you do to the least of my brothers and sisters, you do unto me. Now let's compare that to Donald Trump's policy of family separation. When you prosecute the parents for coming in illegally, which should happen, you have to take the children away. Sorry, lady. We're gonna have to take the baby. Now, I consider myself Christian, but truth be told, I don't go to church any more than Donald Trump does. So let's just move on to some basic ethical principles that I think everybody can agree on. Let's see which ones Donald Trump puts into his bubble. According to the fake news, which you know is fake because I said it was, according to them, I've made over 13,000 demonstrably false statements in my first 1,000 days in office. If you bother to go and look, they have the evidence right there. So in conclusion, believe me when I say they're fake news. Listen, I'm not stuffing my pockets with taxpayer money or money from dictators or other lowlives. And if you don't believe me, just look at my tax returns. I'm probably the most loyal guy in the world. I was loyal to Ivana for a little while. Then I was loyal to Marla Maples. I was loyal to Melania. Then I was loyal to Stormy while Melania was home with the baby. Everything is going great. A lot of people love me more than ever. As Supreme Leader of North Korea, I poisoned my half-brother with WMD at public airport. Once when a general fell asleep in a meeting, I had him shot with an anti-tank gun because that's what cartoon supervillains do. Don't forget the slave labor, systematic rapes, and forced abortions. But thanks to Donald Trump, I have been legitimized on a world stage. He sat down with me as an equal, and all it cost me was nothing. Hey man, Donald told me right off the bat, he said, man, I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not going to hold you to some higher moral standard or whatever. You can basically abuse whoever you like, you know. Here I am celebrating with my friend Vlad after I butchered a journalist who was writing negative stories about me in the Washington Post. Hello, I am gangster dictator in charge of Russia. Think of me as Pablo Escobar, but with nuclear weapons. I have assassinated political rivals on the soil of American allies. Journalists and others who investigate my corruption have tendency to fall out of windows. Donald Trump has been so good for me. At this moment, he mobilizes GOP to aid me in disinformation campaign against America's own ally, Ukraine, a country I invaded and am currently at war with. His trade war since China to Russian markets. His Middle East policy expanded my influence immeasurably. I even took over an American base. He sows division throughout your government. He destroys your institutions. Justice Department, State Department. He puts the Pentagon in disarray. He may even push America to the brink of second civil war, and believe me, nothing would make me happier. Yes, when you put Donald Trump into your political bubble, you put all kinds of toxins into the world. But what am I supposed to do about it? I'm only one person. Why don't you take Trump out of your bubble and put in some positive principles instead? Remember not to put your own political identity or party above your country or the Constitution that makes it great. Thanks for watching this cartoon. If you got something out of it, please give it a like, a share, or subscribe to the channel. Future episodes will further examine bubble theory, toxic information bubbles, help you recognize if any of your bubbles are toxic, and you'll be able to take a poorly animated quiz to learn whether your political values are better aligned with the Prince of Peace or the Prince of Lies. Until then, may all of the bubbles in your life be better. And I'll try to do a better job making these cartoons.